Hey guys, so I saw the Royal Rumble tonight, and I thought it was a good Royal Rumble. I thought it was decent from start to finish. I know some people were kind of like mixed about it, but I was fine with it. I thought both Rumble matches were decent. I will agree the women's match was a little bit better, especially with the surprises, predictable and not predictable. The men's was all right, especially the ending. Despite what you might say about most of it. The ending did keep you on the edge of your feet, on the edge of your seat, even if you kind of knew what the outcome would be. But I thought it was good. I thought the men's match was decent, predictable finish or not. I thought they delivered, because because here's the thing, WWE, especially under a different regime like what it is now, you know, WWE will try to be as unpredictable as they can, and if going a route that's different than what's being reported, is the way they're going to go, that's what they're going to do. But overall, the event was all right. They started off, of course, with the Women's Rumble, and Natalia was the first entrant out, and then the second entrant was the returning Naomi, aka Trinity Fatu, who, by the way, they acknowledged was former TNA Knockouts champion. Yeah, they did. And here's the thing too. Here's the thing too, and I'll get into this about the other surprise as well. You know, the last time WWE acknowledged TNA Impact's existence was when Mickey James was a part of the Rumble in 2022, and both sides, mostly on the Impact TNA side, were promoting her potential rival. And what's interesting though is when she came out, she was of course the Knockouts champion, but the problem was they didn't acknowledge her as Knockouts champion. No, they instead acknowledged her as Women's champion, and that was it. They didn't say Impact Knockouts champion. They said Impact Women's champion or Impact Women's World champion. They didn't say Knockouts. That was the big difference here, because this time around they said it. They said knockouts. I mean, they've been using the word knockout a lot lately anyway, so why not just use it to describe the title that the women won? I'm just saying. But yeah, they acknowledged her as a knockouts champion, and she was very emotional. The crowd was happy to see her. She was very emotional. I think she was taken back by the support they gave her, because everybody in that crowd, knew exactly what she had gone through, the year or two prior, a year or two prior and everything, to her leaving. So, they were happy to see her back, and I was happy to see her back as well. Bailey came out number 3, and spoiler, she did win, and she had strong support, even though she's supposed to be a heel. She had strong support, all the way, and obviously you could tell, the seeds are still being sown in, planted. The finishing touches are being made for the breakup of Damage Control. But I think honestly, what's going to happen is Bailey's going to surprise Damage Control with what her choice is going to be. Then at number 4, you had Candice LeRae, who didn't get much of a response, but I think over time, I think 2024 is going to be a rebuilding year for a lot of these women. And they're going to get notoriety over time. I mean, look at Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Just saying, they're getting reactions now, more so than they did when they first debuted. And then at number 5 was a surprise, a big time surprise, even though Fightful Select had reported it, PW Insider had reported it, any reliable source had reported it. Number 5, was the new TNA Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace. That's right, Jordynne Grace, the powerhouse, showed up. They acknowledged that she had won the title from Naomi. They even had her and Naomi, embrace, see each other in the ring, embrace, and even, kind of throw down a little bit, which was kind of cool. That's the one thing that you're going to start noticing a lot more with Triple H's run here, in charge, is that basically, he'll allow certain storylines or rivalries from other promotions to transcend over to WWE, if not for just a one night deal, or maybe just to kind of bring closure for a bit. Who knows? But she came in and she looked good. she looked really good, and she did get a reaction. People say that she didn't get a reaction. She did, because the moment they saw her name, they heard the sirens going off. They're like, I guarantee you, the people that heard the sirens going off in that arena, and they looked up and saw her name, they're like, oh shit, this is the lady that just beat Naomi. So she looked great in there. Um, you had other people coming in. You had Zia Lee coming in. You had Asuka. You had Kairi Sane. You had Ivy Nile. Of course, you had Nia Jax. Putting on a power display. You had Piper Niven. Chelsea Green was in there. She was kind of like the brunt, comedic wise, of all of that. You had Valhalla come in and set a women's record of 5 seconds, because R-Truth, he's still plays that very confused, not all there kind of person. Basically, he thought he was entering the men's rumble, but not. It was the women's, so they had to put that in there. And I guess they're gonna do something with him with Valhalla on Monday or something. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, you had eventually you had Becky Lynch come in and everything. And Nia Jax, first of all, I want to say this. I know not a lot of people like Nia Jax, but she is doing her job. I heard some people talking about this online. Just watched a few of the live streams that are currently going on, and some of them have all said the same thing, that you may not like Nia as a talent, but she's doing exactly what she needs to do as a heel. She is generating that X-Pac, get off my TV, get out of my sight kind of heat, and she's embracing it. So she was, and his thing, she looked dominant here. She looked really dominant. She got a couple of eliminations. Then like I said, you had Becky Lynch in there. You had Roxanne Perez come in. And then you had the big one. You had Jade Cargill debut at 28, and she did. The logo she had was the same logo, the same Jade name logo she had in AEW, and the theme song, when you go back and listen, is identical, if not basically a more WWE. Well, basically it's the same theme song. It's basically WWE-fied. It's WWE, fied, if you will, WWE music-fied, if you will. Her theme song, that is, and she looked great. For the time she was in there, because they had her confront Nia, and basically she picks up Nia on her shoulders. She flexes with one arm like this, drops Nia down, boots her into the ropes, and then picks her up again, Andre the Giant, like Hogan picking up Andre, or Kane picking up Big Show, and just put her right over the top rope. And Nia's reaction was like, just that look, the look of shock that Nia had, because that's the one thing she is good at too. She can sell, expressionally, at certain shocks and everything. And the look that she had on her face was like, oh, like she couldn't believe it. Like the real, like reality just came crashing down. Like, oh shit, there's someone that's just as strong, if not stronger than me, that can beat me, can outpower me, in that ring. It's like the realization hit her, like, oh shit, this Jade girl might be more powerful than me. And you could even see Becky's reaction too. I don't know if it's genuine or part of her character, but she had a reaction like, holy shit. And then you had a bit of a kind of like a stare down, a tease maybe for a Jade and Bianca matchup down the line, maybe WrestleMania. So yeah, overall it was a great Rumble, and it came down to Bayley, Jade, and the returning Liv Morgan. Yep, Liv. She ended up returning, got a decent reaction and everything. People were expecting Sasha, but we didn't see her, so that still kind of adds to the mystery. There was reports that WWE officials said that, oh, we don't want to deal with any contract tampering, so we don't know what's going on with Sasha and Mercedes. I think honestly, if she is going to be coming back, they're saving her maybe for after WrestleMania if she's WWE bound, or she's going to show up at the Revolution. Who knows? We'll just have to see in the next couple of months. She might even show up on SmackDown, post Royal Rumble. We'll have to see. But yeah, Liv came out and she had a decent reaction. No boos or anything. They were happy to see her. And like I said, it came down to Bayley. It came down to Jade, and it came down to it came down to Bayley, Liv, and Jade. That's what I was trying to say. I have my security camera on right now. My mom's home, so It's just resting on the couch and just keeping an eye on things. But anyway though, like I said, it came down to those three ladies, and Bailey ended up winning, and everybody was happy for her. Everybody was happy for her, and I've, I said this on social media, and I said it in a video here. You know, it's, it's a. Let me bring up what I said here. I said basically, congratulations to Bailey, long deserved, and I have a feeling she would choose Io Sky, not Rhea Ripley. And that why, you may ask? Because she sees what's going on. She's playing them, that being Damage Control, as they think they're playing her. All signs point in that direction, and it's obvious. It's obvious that that's what's going to happen. You could just tell. I mean, the way it's portrayed on television, you think Bailey's not in on it. She doesn't understand. Like, okay, why is Asuka not wanting to high five me during the match or whatever? And it's you see that, you see these clues, and you're thinking, well, Bailey doesn't see what's coming. Bailey's gonna be in for a shock. She's gonna get run down by the semi truck that's gonna run her over. But the truth is, I think Bailey is onto them. I think Bailey's looking at this herself, and she's like, yeah, something's not right here. Something's not right. So I think honestly, what's gonna happen is when the time comes for her to decide who she's gonna face, it's not gonna be Rhea Ripley. I mean, she may say it's going to be Rhea. She may have announced it's going to be Rhea, before the Rumble even happened. But I think what's going to happen is Bailey's going to choose Io. It's like she's going to choose, and then just when it looks like she's going to choose Rhea, she's going to turn around, point right to Io, and then that's when it's all going to go down. And that's when she's going to probably reveal to them that, hey, I've been on to you since the very beginning. Who do you think you're trying to fool? I see what you're trying to do. And if you want to get rid of me, then why don't you do it face to face at WrestleMania? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So she's going to choose. She's going to choose Io, and she's going to do it in a way that's, some people would say is similar to what Batista did. But I think it's going to be in a way to where Batista is not going to overhear, a discussion, with Batista. It's about 11:14. I do apologize if I'm a little all over the place with this. Like I said, my mom's home, so I'm trying to do this as best I can without her interrupting. But anyway, with back in 2005, Batista had a choice to choose who he was going to face, and he decided to go after Triple H because he always felt like something was a little off, and then he got pretty much the clues he needed, pretty much overheard what he wanted to hear, about what was really going on and everything, like, the whole almost being ran down and stuff kind of deal. So he just basically needed to finally get like the final piece of the puzzle, like the final piece of evidence he needed to choose, who he wanted to face, and that was Triple H. To me, people, not to me, but from what I'm seeing, people are comparing it, but I think what's going on is Bailey's not going to have to go through being run over or being put into these kind of situations and all that. I think what's going to happen is Bailey's just going to is going to make it look like she's going to choose Rhea, but then she's going to choose Io, and then she's going to reveal to Io why she's choosing her. And that's basically because she's been onto them, for a while, and the fact that they're trying to get rid of her, but that's not going to happen. And that if they want to do it, they got to do it straight up at WrestleMania. So that's what's going to happen there. Next up, we had the Undisputed Championship, which I was kind of surprised was the second match on the card, not the third to last match. Roman Reigns, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. I thought this was good. I thought basically from a presentation standpoint as champion, it made Roman look more vulnerable. Like Roman basically now, because I think this is how it's going to play off. He's going to gloat at the fact that he beat these guys, in a match. But I think what's going to happen is, not only is he going to gloat about it, but I think like Nick Aldis is going to come out and acknowledge maybe, what could have happened if it wasn't for Solo, because yes, Solo did interfere in this. But he did his job, but not totally. Like he didn't take them all out. He took only Randy and LA out. Not AJ. AJ avoided being taken out. Um, but anyway, I will give them credit. They made Roman look very vulnerable. Like from a story perspective, I think what's going to happen from here on in is he's going to start realizing that, hey, and I think Nick Aldis is where he's going to come into play as well. He's going to realize, hey, I cannot, have my bloodline help me out all the time, but also I'm going to, this is what's going to occur, or something. So, yeah, the match was good. The match was decent. Like I said, Roman looked very vulnerable in this more so than anything. But in the end, he did end up winning. He hit the spear on AJ and got the pin. He hit the spear on AJ and got the pin. And that was it. That was it. Like I said, he beat him. Like I said, he pinned AJ. Again, it was a good match. Everybody got into stuff. Randy got in his RKO. AJ got in a Styles Clash or two. LA Knight got in a couple of BFTs. But in the end, Roman, I think what happened is he hit a Superman punch. I think he hit a Superman punch on Knight, or no, what it was is that AJ was going for a phenomenal forearm or something like that, or something happened, and he ended up. I think what it was is that there was something that occurred. In fact, let me see if I can look it up. I think, hopefully, with no issues here because my computer's getting ready to load soon or getting ready to update soon. Hold on. But basically, there's Wikipedia. Let's see. Let me see. It should say. I guess it doesn't have it here just yet. But I'm trying to think. Who did Roman pin again? He pinned somebody. I'm trying to see here. Oh yeah, he did spear Styles. He had a Superman punch on LA Knight because, like I said, it was a miscommunication, and then he hit Styles with a spear because he caused Styles to fall into the ring, that being Knight, and thus Roman ended up retaining. And again, it was a good match. Again, to me, it made everybody got the stuff in, and it made Roman look more vulnerable, less invincible. And I think from a storyline perspective for this character, it's gonna make things more interesting. Like I've got a feeling, I just had to check something there. I've got a feeling, Roman and Paul Heyman are gonna probably be like, you know what, we can't mess around with this oldest guy anymore because he'll put us in these kind of situations, again. So it was a good match. Roman retains, and it's obviously leading us to WrestleMania if he doesn't have something to do next month. And then, of course, we had Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. Good matchup. Great. It was good. Great finish and everything. Because Logan Paul tried to have his friend who helped him win the title at Crown Jewel come out and help him. Didn't work. You had Theory and Waller come out to try to help him. Didn't work. Because what happened is when Waller and Theory came out, Theory got the Nux, gave it to Logan. Logan was going to use it. Brass Knucks, that is. He was going to use it. And Kevin caught him. He took the Brass Knucks away. He hit Logan Paul with them. But just as he was pinning Logan Paul, the referee spotted, just as he was about to hit 3, the referee spotted the Brass Knucks and disqualified Kevin. So Kevin basically took out his frustrations on Logan, hit him up, drove him down through the announce table with a power bomb. Obviously setting up the fact that we're not done with these two just yet. I got a feeling we'll get a rematch. We're going to get a rematch at Elimination Chamber. But it was a good match. good look for both guys and decent creative finish. And I think next stop is Chamber. And then we had the men's Royal Rumble match. Men's was good. I know some people may have not liked it. There was some surprises in there. We had Andrade El Idolo, or Andrade Cien, wherever he's going to go by. He's going by Andrade, it looks like, just for right now. Um, you had him. They started the match, because this was reported too. They started the match with Jimmy and Jay, in there. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but, twice in the night, I don't know if anybody else experienced this, but twice in the night, I had issues with my Peacock, stream. I don't know if anybody else had that, because it's like it was during the women's match, and it was during no, was it during the women's match? Yeah, it was during the women's rumble, and it was during the men's rumble. All of a sudden, like at the beginning or in the middle of it, all of a sudden we beep, just started to buffering. I'm thinking, what's going on here? So, it came back on. The women's one came back on, but it was kind of like low bandwidth or something. Something was going on with the internet, and with the stream, I should say. And then I had to basically close out the event and basically turn it back on. Basically, I basically had to use my remote here, right here. I had to press this button here, if you will, to go back, exit the event, and then click the middle button here. Click the middle button here, if you will, to turn it back on. It was fine after that. So I don't know what happened. I don't know really what happened. Again, I don't know if I'm the only one that dealt with that. But the Rumble match was deep. The Rumble match was good. Cody came out at 15, which obviously didn't make it too predictable right away. Punk came out, I think, 27, 28, and everything. So he did great. He did great. Braun Breaker came out, and Braun Breaker was a machine. This guy looked dominant. He looked dominant. There's no doubt. Spear after spear, elimination after elimination. He even eliminated Omos. Yeah, Omos came back in this match. And this is the kind of match I think Triple H likes to leave, put him in. It's the kind of matches to where he can, look a little dominant, but then he can also make the person that's going to be pushed to the moon look dominant. And in this case, it was Braun Breaker. So, and unfortunately, Braun got eliminated by Dominic Mysterio, who got eliminated later on. I don't know who eliminated him. I can't remember who eliminated him. I gotta look that up again. Somebody eliminated Dominic. Somebody eliminated Dominic. Let me see. Can't remember who did. Because I know Braun, he eliminated Finn Balor and such. So I'm gonna see. Here we go. Let's see. Dom came in at 9. Oh, he was eliminated by CM Punk. Okay. Braun Breaker came in. He was eliminated by Dominic. But Braun, he eliminated Finn. He eliminated Jimmy Uso. And then he eliminated Omos. So they did that. And then, of course, they had a comedy spot in there with Pat McAfee, because McAfee made his return tonight. And what was crazy is that, what was not crazy, but what was, funny about this is, of course, here you have Corey Graves, he's running down what the Rumble's going to be talking about. All of a sudden you hear, that being Graves and Cole, they're talking about the Rumble and everything, what's going to be. All of a sudden you hear Pat McAfee's music hit, and Cole's just laughing, and Corey's like, 2 years in a row, and everything. And Cole's like, well, this time I knew. Last year I didn't. So, but anyway though, it was a good Rumble match, and it came down. The final four were, well, Sami Zayn returned. Sami Zayn returned to number 30, went after Drew, and it came down. The final four came down to Drew McIntyre, Gunther, who didn't enter at number 2 this year. He entered I think he entered number. Okay, I gotta go back and look. I do apologize. For that, guys. But when did he enter? He entered at. Let me see. Let me scroll down here and see. he entered at 18. He entered at 18 and everything. So again, it came down to him, Drew, Cody and CM Punk. Um, it looked like if you wanna, if you like to try to be surprised and don't read spoilers, or don't hear news feeds of what potentially could happen, it looked like it could come down to Gunther and Drew. It didn't. Drew got eliminated by I think it was Cody or Punk, one of the two, and then Gunther. No, it was Punk that eliminated McIntyre, and it was Cody that just like last year, almost the same way eliminated in the same manner. Cody eliminated Gunther, and it came down to Punk and Rhodes. Honestly, I thought, and I put this as a super chat this today when JD from NY206 and Andrew Baydella on their Saturday Royal Rumble's prediction, edition of Tuesday Night Titans TNT. I put on there, I was picking Bailey, which I got right, and basically I said we could see co-winners, and I thought that would be one way they can get both, Punk and Rhodes to their destinations, but that didn't happen. So, but the way it went down between these two, again, despite the fact that all signs are pointing towards Cody making it 2 times in a row, and all the clues being put out there of, oh, we haven't had back-to-back winners in 26 years, especially when he came out at 15, at number 15. Still it made you think, is it going to be Cody, or is they going to surprise us and give it to Punk? And in the end, it ended up being Cody, because Punk, after he hit a second GTS on Cody, picked him up and said, I didn't wait 10 years I didn't come back after 10 years just to lose to Dusty's kid. That was almost like a wake-up call for Cody, and Cody ended up, basically grabbing his leg, because I think Punk was going for another GTS, and Cody ended up eliminating Punk, and Cody ends up winning a second Royal Rumble, second year in a row, back to back, and almost instantly after he points to the WrestleMania sign and the pyro goes off on that, the WrestleMania 40 sign, all the pyro goes off. He goes over to the other side, because like on this side, it's like on this side here is where he has to point to the WrestleMania sign, and on this side they had the champions in a box suites, in suites, if you will. And after he goes over here and points to the sign, he goes over to here and points right at Roman and says, I choose you. You're the one I'm facing. And everybody, the announcers acknowledged it. There's no guessing on Cody's part. WWE has acknowledged it through YouTube with their YouTube shorts. So, yeah, Cody has chosen Roman, and off to the races we go. So overall, I thought it was a good Rumble. From start to finish, I thought it was a decent Rumble. Not the best ever, but I think maybe because it felt a little, kind of off in the eyes of a lot of folks, is because of what's, went down in the past, 24 to 48 hours news-wise. With the whole Vince McMahon situation, which, believe it or not, they did ask certain stars and everything, and even Triple H, and they did their best PR, very professional, public relations kind of manner. Cody, Natalya, Triple H, they did their very best PR, to answer the questions, but not answer it in a way that would feel kind of awkward, or would be a black cloud of what was a decent night of professional wrestling, sports entertainment, with the Royal Rumble. So I think that's maybe why I felt a little off, because it was like, they're trying to move forward from what's going on here, and and basically, even though they tried doing that, and hats off to them for trying, I think it just made things feel a little awkward, but not too much. And I can tell you this right now, people can be a little upset about Cody winning 2 years in a row, but and choosing Roman once again. But let me explain this to you, and I'm always going to stick by this. I truly believe, and I said this before, I truly believe Cody not winning last year was not a Triple H call. That was a Vince McMahon call. Because Vince was on headset, he was in Gorilla that night. If he wasn't, I think Cody would have won. I think there's no denying that. But because he was, Vince decided, nope, Cody's got to lose. you know, and that just showed that Vince was still a petty individual. Like he'll go out of his way to bring somebody in, bring him back to WWE, but at the end of the day, he's still going to show his pettiness. He's still going to show his vindictiveness towards that person and what they helped do outside of the business to go against him. And that's what he did last year. He may have said it, he may have sold it to Cody in a way that made him sound like, oh yeah, don't worry, things we'll right the wrong down the line, don't worry. It's like, it's like, really, do you not see what you caused because of that? Booking wise and creatively, and now we had to wait a whole year for it to happen again. So yeah, basically, I think Vince sold Cody a load of good. I think Vince sold Cody, a bunch of BS. But Cody, being the professional he is, he ate it. He ate the shit. He did what he had to do. And I think Cody will admit, even if he won't, that he knew what he was asked to do by Vince was total BS. But what are you gonna do? Vince is very petty and vindictive. Even if he goes out of his way, goes to your house to sign you and agree to let you have your music and all that, he's gonna find a way to still stick it to you, just to teach you a lesson of, hey, don't you ever go against me again, or don't you walk out of me again. So yeah, I still stick by that, and I think honestly that's why we're getting this match again at WrestleMania 40, because this time around Triple H will be booking it, and it's going to be Cody finishing his story. End of discussion. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. What did you think of the Royal Rumble in general? What did you think of the surprises? Did you think it did feel a little off, tonight or last night, because of what happened, news-wise? And do you agree with me that Vince probably was the one that called for Cody to lose to Roman last year, which is why we're getting the rematch this year? Let me know in discussions, and until then, I'm out.